With the look ahead toward a fight on the horizon, a date has not yet been finalized. However, speculation still runs amok as WBC Junior welterweight champion Regis Prograis is looking for an opportunity to possibly step in the ring and face off against Devin Haney, the undisputed lightweight champion who's looking to move up and challenge greater dragons. And the great thing about this is it's another one of those fights that can prove to be exactly what the public wants to see. But will we get to see it? Because a solid fight date, possibly December, is being tossed about, but we don't know for certain yet. But all the same, it's still what we're looking for in 2023. So let's talk about this a little bit further. Prograis versus Haney, and will Haney be too sharp for Regis Prograis? Boxing in 2023 has been outstanding, amazing, exciting. And the year is not over just yet. But if we get a chance to see what we would like to see, one of the fights that's included in this would be the possibility of junior welterweight champion Regis Prograis taking on Devin the Dream Haney. Now, the wonderful thing about this fight is it's another case of a champion moving up to face another champion. But it's also a high quality caliber fight because these two men have differing styles. One is orthodox, being Devin Haney, who would be the challenger, and the champion, Regis Prograis, being a southpaw. But it doesn't end there when you go about the counter measures of the two men and the possibilities of what can transpire with them facing one another. And an article in Boxing News 24 on September 14th raised a question by one of Prograis' former fighters that he's faced, and that would be Josh Taylor, who has stated that he thinks Devin might be too sharp for Regis Prograis. Now, this is not coming from me, it's coming from Josh Taylor, who really didn't elaborate on that. But the author of the article seemed to feel that there may be some merit behind Taylor's sentiment. And he points out certain aspects that we can discuss here. Adam Baskin is the author of the article. And it goes on to say that former 140 pound undisputed champion Josh Taylor says he sees Devin Haney as being too sharp and young for WBC light welterweight champion Regis Prograis. Now, when we look at Regis, who has been around and who has campaigned, he is 34 years of age. He's had some stints of inactivity. And though he has only one loss on his record, that being to Josh Taylor, you could kind of understand where Josh might be coming from with his critique of Prograis. Now, Regis is 29-1 with 24 KOs. He's been known to get guys up out of there. But it's been a minute since he has shown that old Rougarou, the one before facing Josh Taylor, who would just go in, bear down, and bore into his opponents, though he still speaks as if he's that guy. He may not be. Then again, he may just need the correct opponent that stimulates him enough to make him feel that he is that old guy. His 11th round KO victory over Jose Zepeda back in November of 2022 was an exciting fight where he showed patience and late round power, getting Zepeda out of there. But it's his most recent fight from June of 2023 against Danielito Zorrilla, where he struggled to a split decision against Zorrilla, who actually had him down in the first round. It wasn't ruled a knockdown, but upon replay and review, that's exactly what it was. And Prograis kind of escaped with that, because that lack of ruling it a knockdown could have affected the scorecards even more. But he had Zorrilla down in the third round, but couldn't finish him off, and seemed a little bit hesitant about going in after him. Now, Haney, who would be coming into this fight as a challenger for Prograis' WBC title, would be coming in with a record of 30-0 and 15 KOs. His most recent victory was over the man whom had ruled the division for a moment and avoided Devin for a couple of years, and that would be Vasyl Lomachenko. A unanimous decision in May of 2023. But if you look at his body of work of what he's done over the past year and a half, 2 fights in 2022 and 2 decision victories over George Kambosos Jr. in Australia on the road for the undisputed title. Something that he had long worked for and seemingly was being held on the outer rims of achieving, thanks to Teofimo Lopez revealing information that we may not have found out otherwise, but loose lips, as they say, sink ships. But yet and still, the road warrior, the dream, Devin Haney came away with those titles. And now that he's undisputed lightweight, he's looking to slay other dragons, as I stated earlier. So moving up, using his championship leverage to face Regis Prograis seems like a no-brainer, especially since he has campaigned at lightweight for the bulk of his career. He is growing, and as he is looking ahead, this 24-year-old fighter will soon be a welterweight. I've seen photos of him next to welterweight fighters like Terrence Crawford, and he looks as big, if not bigger, than Crawford. And like I said, he's only 24 years old. But what's more exciting is the fact that this article is speaking of Haney being sharp, possibly too sharp for Regis Prograis. The interesting aspect of that are certain key elements about his boxing ability. And what might those be? The key elements may be the fact that Devin is a consummate boxer. I believe as he moves up in weight, his strength and power is going to come. As he's only 24 years old and has depleted his body since he was in his late teens, he's going to get a chance to show the maturation and the development of more strength, because he's going to grow into his position. But his skill set is unquestionable. One of the reasons why numerous fighters are not looking to fight him. And even Floyd Mayweather Sr. said years ago that he looked at Haney as a guy who could be like Floyd Jr. in his abilities. That's not something that Mr. Mayweather Sr. would throw around recklessly. And you know how fond he is of his son. So to inherit a compliment like that from a world-class trainer, former fighter himself, and a man who has a direct lineage to one of the all-time greats in Floyd Mayweather Jr., one may want to look with a more earnest listening ear and pay attention. There's a reason why numerous fighters have turned away Devin Haney. Oh yeah, trying to price themselves out of an opportunity to have a go at it with him, to risk undefeated records, to risk winning streaks. But the man can box. And he's a stand-up individual, not afraid to take on challenges. Thus, his interest in going after Regis Prograis, another fighter who many other fighters have avoided. Josh Taylor fought him because it was a part of the fight in the tournament that they were involved in a few years ago. And Regis had to go over there to the UK to face Josh Taylor at that time. But this is a different kettle of fish. Shout out to my brother, the dearly departed Curtis Anderson, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar, who used to like to say that. These two men will bring about a different type of fight. Regis would definitely look to be inspired against this young upstart. But is Devin really a young upstart? Though he's 24, he's been a champion for a few years himself, and the quality of opposition that he's turned away for his weight division, his resume is pretty darn good. And Regis would definitely be a challenge that he's looking to conquer. So as I look ahead to this fight, and as you look ahead to this fight, keep in mind that this is definitely one to look out for. And the points of him being too sharp, his jab, his ability to move well on his feet, the fact that his defense is pretty good, and he has a 4-inch reach advantage over the penguin-armed Regis Prograis. His ring IQ is very high. He has studied with some of the best. The Mayweather camp and his dad bringing certain people in to assist with his movement in his career has left him becoming an elite level fighter. This is something that Regis was never thought to be. And if they do happen to face one another in December, it's something to consider as far as if Regis is able to defeat Devin Haney, you have to understand that Haney may not have been ready. But I don't think that'll be the case, because Devin Haney appears in all sights to be the future, as long as men step to him and try to prove him wrong, because he relishes the challenge. Something is rare amongst fighters of today. Guys just don't want to risk. But boxing is about risk, taking them and being on the end of receiving them. Yeah. So, if this fight does take place, again, it'll be right along the side of everything else that has been going on very well in 2023, boxing in 2023. And I believe that Devin the Dream Haney facing Regis Prograis is one of the best fights that can be made at junior welterweight. And I look forward to it. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Do you think that Regis has what it takes to turn back the challenge of Devin the Dream Haney? Do you think that Devin the Dream has what it takes to take away the title from Regis? It'll be an interesting affair, and let's hope that it happens, that it's signed, sealed, and will be delivered before the end of the year. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.